My name is Tyra Battaglia, and I am a candidate for Board of Education. I first would like to thank the over 6,000 citizens of Carroll County for their vote in the primary election. Without all the support we have received, we will not be able to continue on the path we are on. For those that don't know who I am, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Carroll County. I'm a Westminster High School graduate from 1996 and attended Carroll Community College to study elementary education for special needs. My husband and I will be married for 15 years, and we have 3 children. I've worked and volunteered in the classrooms. I was a PTA treasurer for 2 terms at Charles Carroll Elementary and currently volunteer with Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, sports, and 4-H. I fought along the side with other community members against the closures of schools. I have 3 main objectives. Number 1, keep communities together. A community school is just that, a school in the community. Schools are a place for student family activities, meetings, rec sports activities, community celebrations, and traditions. When a school is closed, all these things are affected and diminished. Children need activities outside of school to remain active, begin involvement in their communities, and for social developmental skills. If a school has to be closed, the community shouldn't be divided. Number 2, more drug prevention. There's an opiate issue. Once was parents losing children, is now children losing parents. We need more drug education in our schools. We need to combat drug prevention at every single age and grade level. Drug education needs to be every year and pushed starting the 5th grade. We need more community involvement. We need to identify the triggers and help students use holistic approaches like mindfulness to deter them from drugs. Communities need to know what resources are available. Number 3, consistency in curriculum. We need consistency in every school with diversity, curriculum, and security. Every school should celebrate the culture of holidays. When children are exposed to different cultures, they're very accepting to diversity and less likely to bully other students. Curriculum should be the same in all schools. No child learns the same, but having the same type of projects, field trips, classes, class sizes, and classwork in all our schools helps communities work together to ensure success for the students. Larger class sizes and excessive testing are not beneficial to a student's learning environment or a teacher's teaching environment. We need to be sure the students are getting the same equal opportunities in our schools and there are no disadvantages. I would like to see students use 5 hours of their student service learning hours in a small business. Students that want to take career and technology path would benefit from the exposures of a small business setting. This would prevent students from leaving a program. Security procedures need to be the same in all of our schools. Our law enforcement does monitor our schools regularly and are forming great relationships in our schools with these students. Safety needs to be kept a priority. I want to hear from all the students. They are the ones attending the schools. I want families to come talk to me and know I will not dismiss them. We need to be sure we are being as transparent as we can with communities. Teachers do deserve their proper step increases. We need to keep fine arts and ag education in our schools. Students should not have to leave instruction time to attend instrumental music lessons. We need partnerships with local businesses to help with funding. We need to look at opening the Career and Technology Center in the evening for adult programs. We need people that don't think like politicians, instead they think like a parent and not afraid to offer solutions. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. This is my favorite quote, and I wholeheartedly believe this every day. I can promise to advocate for every child, family, and community. I will not discriminate. I will remain nonpartisan in all decisions. I want to do what is best for all children in Carroll County. I may be labeled a soccer mom, but that means I'm involved in my children's lives as well as your children's lives. Having someone involved in the community that pays attention to community current issues and someone that's not afraid to stand up for your children is what we need. I want to be your children's cheerleader. Please feel free to email tarab4boe@gmail.com with any questions. You can also follow my campaign page on Facebook, Tyra Battaglia for Board of Education. I ask for your vote on November 6th. Look for my name, Tyra Battaglia, on the ballot. I'm the first name under the Board of Education column. I'm a mom, a wife, and a community member. We need new, not more of the same. I want to build a better, brighter tomorrow today.
Hello, my name is Dr. Patricia Endorsee, and I am a candidate for the Board of Education for Carroll County Public Schools. First of all, many thanks to everyone who has shown support for my candidacy. Your votes and encouragement are appreciated very much. I am grateful and humbled by the confidence you have shown in me. It is not taken lightly. I believe that your overwhelming support thus far affirms the commitment that I dedicated to our school system during my 39-year career with Carroll County Public Schools, and that I will continue to demonstrate if elected to serve on the Board of Education. I am a product of our Carroll County Public School System, having been a member of the first graduation class from South Carroll High School. I have worked as an elementary school classroom teacher, resource teacher, assistant principal, and principal. While working, I was able to earn a master's equivalency, a Master of Education degree from Western Maryland College, which is now McDaniel College, and a Doctor of Education degree from the University of Maryland, College Park, in the area of education policy, planning, and administration. Now is the time. These words initially provided the impetus for me to seek a seat on the Board of Education, and they continue to provide inspiration as we move forward to the general election. Since primary election day, our school system has welcomed our new superintendent of schools, Dr. Stephen Lockhart. Dr. Lockhart has reviewed the elements of the strategic plan provided by the current Board of Education and developed a framework to conceptualize the plan. The framework can be used as a tool to provide focus for the work of the board. I look forward to the opportunity to continue to refine the strategic plan and identify performance targets to hold our system accountable for achieving our goals. If elected, my priorities while serving on the Board of Education will be first and foremost to meet the needs of students, to prepare them for pursuing college or careers, entering the workforce, or joining the military. I will use my passion for teaching and learning, my experiences and educational background to ensure success for all learners, special education students, gifted and talented students, honors class students, those above, on, or below grade level, our students who receive free and reduced price meals, and students of every race and ethnicity. Preparing all students to be successful and meet their full potential will be a top priority. Our teachers and staff members are valuable to ensuring the success of all students. Providing them with competitive salaries is also a priority. We must recruit and retain quality teachers and staff members to enhance a successful, diverse workforce. We should work to make our county appealing to all applicants. Enhancing the safety and security of all facilities is a must. Students must be encouraged to display respectful, responsible behavior. Safe, orderly environments that are conducive to learning must be provided. The Maryland Safe to Learn Act of 2018 passed the General Assembly on the last day of the 2018 legislative session and has been signed into law by our governor. The law requires our public high schools to have either a school resource officer or adequate law enforcement coverage by this upcoming school year. Public middle and elementary schools will need to have either a school resource officer or plans for adequate coverage in place prior to the 2019-2020 school year. Also needed by September 1 of this school year, the state's School Safety Subcabinet and Advisory Board will develop a model policy for local school systems to establish one or more assessment teams to provide identification of and intervention for students or other individuals who may pose a threat to school safety. This new law is broad and will certainly impact our policy and practices for providing security and mental health in our schools. We've already begun work on implementing the requirements of this law. Now is the time. It's time to elect a candidate for the Board of Education who is prepared, experienced, and dedicated to the students and families of Carroll County. I would be honored to receive your votes during early voting days or on General Election Day. Please vote for Patricia Endorsee to become a member of the Carroll County Board of Education. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Doug Howard, and I'm a candidate for the Carroll County Board of Education. First and foremost, I want to thank those that supported me in the primary election and gave me the opportunity to participate in this general election. Many people have asked me why, after 8 years as County Commissioner, I would want to pursue a position on the Board of Education. And the answer is really twofold, and it's very simple. The school system has been very good to my children and to my family, and at the end of the day has been an important driver in the things that make Carroll County special. But secondly, after leaving office after 8 years, I know that the future of Carroll County is very much rested in the stands of where education goes from this point forward. A successful school system will bring about a successful community. And if we don't have an excellent school system, we're going to be challenged as we go into the future. Carroll County schools have excellent teachers, they have very motivated students and participating parents. But we are hamstrung by a couple of things, including limited state funding, an obsession with standardized testing at the state level, more and more control of our curriculum, and really lots of decisions that are determined by the local union. The reality is they get in the way of us providing the best education system we can to our community and to our students. We know that education happens when that teacher and that student are together in the classroom. But somehow we've gotten away from that focus. We've built this big organization, and now it's much more constraining than it is about teaching. Recently, the Board of Education went through a visioning process. It took about 18 months, and it concerned me because if after 250 years of public education, we don't know what the mission is, I'm concerned. The fact is, our mission should be very simple. Carroll County Schools should be the best place to learn, supported by the best place to teach for our teachers, and an organization that understands that it needs to do everything it can to make that interaction effective. At the end of the day, we need to separate teacher compensation from all other forms of compensation when we negotiate to make sure that we can get the best teachers in our classroom. We need to resist and push back on standardized testing at this excessive level, because I know that our teachers that have been teaching history and science and in English for years know their subject matter. They know the best ways to teach, and we shouldn't be changing what they're teaching or the way they're teaching it because someone at the state or federal level changed a question on a test. The fact is, the school system should reflect the values, the needs, and the interests of our local community, and it's really time for the Board of Education to be the conduit for that to happen. At the end of the day, we also need to make sure that the Nodding Carroll initiative, which was designed to get drugs out of our community, extends to be effective at getting the drugs out of our schools. Our kids cannot learn if drugs are in the way. Now, for folks that know me, they know that I can build partnerships. I've worked with lots of folks across the community, but they also know that I can be a fighter. And I want to fight for education. I want to fight for the needs of our community and for our students by helping to build on the success of the school system and create positive change to get the funding we need, the latitude we need for teachers to teach, and the flexibility to create a school system that's not just on par or in harmony with the rest of the state, but is the very best in the state of Maryland. Over the course of this campaign, I will come out with very specific ideas, and I challenge my fellow candidates to do the same. People should be very specific about what they will and won't do on the Board of Education. For example, I will not support a Board of Education budget that would require a tax increase to accomplish it. I don't think that's necessary, and I wouldn't support it. I will support things that give teachers more latitude in the classroom and the separation of negotiations, if at all possible, so the teachers are compensated properly and we deal with the rest of the organization after that. At the end of the day, it is my hope to bring the talents and experience and my ability to deliver to the Board of Education. I want the very best for Carroll County, and the very best for Carroll County today is building on the school system we have and really making it unquestionably the best in the state. So I ask for your support as we go forward, to dig into the issues, to get to know the candidates, to ask the right questions, and make sure that people get out and vote, truly participate in this election. Sometimes when these elections are what they call down ballot, people don't always know the folks that are involved. I will tell you, I will be very specific about what I think we ought to do, the ways that we can work together, and how we can enhance the school system to make sure that we have the right resources and the right outcomes. My name is Doug Howard. I am a candidate for the Board of Education. You can reach me at 443-538-4862 or at dougforcarrollschools@gmail.com. I ask for your vote, and I look forward to serving. Thank you.
My name is Kenny Cuyler. I live with my wife Rhonda in Manchester. I am a candidate for the Board of Education. I want to thank all those who voted in the primary in June for helping me through. I very much want to serve the students, teachers, staff, and voters of Carroll County. I need your votes with absentee ballots at early voting and on November 6th to get there. I am a lifelong resident of Carroll County. Rhonda and I have 3 children and 6 grandchildren. Rhonda, all 3 children and I are products of Carroll County Public Schools. All 3 children have graduate degrees. We also have friends and families who benefit greatly from career and tech programs. We place value and importance on education. I have a BA in mathematics from Washington College and completed all requirements for teacher certification. I joined the Maryland Army National Guard in 1972. I graduated from Officer Candidate School and completed the Officer Basic course in Field Artillery at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. In 1980, I left the Guard as a first lieutenant. Over 1/2 of our taxes go to the school system. We need fiscal responsibility and transparency. I feel that we can continue to develop a great school system while maintaining our current tax rates. We must promote common sense and transparency in redistricting and school closures. By managing the school system's properties wisely, we can budget to continue to attract highly qualified teachers and staff. I've worked all of my adult life in construction. I started at C.J. Miller, Inc. as a laborer working summers while in school. I was vice president at Miller from 1978 through 2004. I went to Stewart & Tate, Inc. in York, PA as executive vice president in 2005 and continue there today. If elected to the board, I will reduce my workload to half-time at most so I can put the proper attention into the school board. At both companies, I've been active in budgeting, finance, estimating, contract negotiation, project management, hiring and managing employees, and more. In 1973, I founded Manchester Wrestling, became a board member of the North Carroll Recreation Council, and continued through 2013. We were blessed with many great athletes and families. The program produced many successful wrestlers, but I am most proud that our program had an excellent high school graduation rate. The discipline and structure they learned through sports helped them grow into great adults. My son Andy and many other coaches have continued the program and kept it successful. This season they have 5 teams and over 100 wrestlers competing in different leagues. While working, I tried to stay active outside of work and family. I was a board member and treasurer of the Associated Utility Contractors of Maryland. Through that organization, I was active in lobbying and contacting government groups. I served on specification committees that met with Carroll, Frederick, and Baltimore counties and Baltimore City. We analyzed their current specifications and suggested modifications that could improve their services and also be more cost-effective. I am currently an active member in the Harford County Contractors Association. I also served as president of both North Carroll Rec Council and the Maryland Junior Wrestling League. I was a member of the Carroll County Parks and Recreation Board for several years and served 1 year as chairperson. Through the National Guard and community programs, I learned the value of security and safety. While school resource officers are needed, we also need to be proactive. In past years, we had crisis counselors assigned to schools. When budgets got tight, we moved them to the central office. We need behavior specialists at each elementary school who can work with both students and families, and we need our crisis counselors back in the high schools and middle schools. This is my first time running for an office. I did very well at the 5 polling places where I grew up and people know me best. I need to transfer that success to other areas of the county. I learned a lot through the process from students, teachers, administrators, and parents. The more I see just reinforces that I would value the opportunity to serve you on the school board. Thank you for listening to me. I will need everyone's help and support to get elected. Please vote at early voting in October or on November 6th.
Hello, my name is Mary Kowalski, and I am running for a seat on the Board of Education. I was born and raised in Carroll County. I have a master's degree in education from McDaniel College in Westminster. I have 15 years of experience working in Carroll County Public Schools, and I am also the parent of a 2015 graduate from Carroll County Public Schools. I'm running for Board of Education because I'm concerned about the direction of our Board of Ed. The Board of Education has been hijacked by liberal extremists who are aggressively indoctrinating our children with their ideas regarding gender identity and global warming. The very history of the founding of our nation is being distorted, and our young people are left feeling confused at best. In my view, the Carroll County Times acts as nothing more than an arm of the Board of Education, downplaying or completely ignoring these problems too often, thus enabling them to continue. I believe that we must get control of the out-of-control liberal extremists who have been forcing their political agenda into our schools for far too long. Our Board of Education elections should be held by party affiliation. This will require candidates to expose their views on how our young people should be taught, holding Board of Ed members to a higher degree of accountability. Nonpartisan elections have worked strongly to the advantage of the liberal radicals. It's time to protect our children from those who are undermining patriotism and morality among our youth. I also believe that we need to control spending and reduce bureaucracy at our Board of Education headquarters. Not only is there a culture of moral corruption, but there is a culture of financial corruption. I'm concerned about the reckless expenditure of hard-earned taxpayer dollars. You know, we've been told for years by the Board of Ed that we have declining student enrollment in Carroll County. They've told us that we have less students, but the Board of Ed needs more money. We need to ensure full transparency and accountability. Finally, in the wake of the tragic school shooting in Florida, I believe we must tighten security protocols at our schools to improve the safety and security of our students and staff members. As a candidate for the Board of Education, I am concerned about the safety of our schools. I believe we need to reinstate the federal ban on the sale of AR-15s and similar military-style weapons. I believe in the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. However, AR-15s are military-style weapons that belong in the military, not in the civilian sector, where they can easily drift into the hands of psychologically unbalanced individuals, as we have seen happen too many times. We need to hold our elected officials accountable at the state and federal level, and not let them scapegoat the NRA. We must demand that our elected officials reinstate the federal ban on AR-15s and other military-style weapons. Every right and every freedom has limits, moderation in all things but love. Scripture tells us, love the Lord your God with your whole heart, your whole mind, and your whole strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. All other rights and freedoms are subject to reasonable boundaries. Therefore, we must put the safety and security of our students and our citizens first. With that, I'd like to end with a quote from the 19th century American author Mark Twain. He said, "Politicians and diapers must be changed often and for the same reason." And so, my friends, elections are a time of new beginnings, of hope and renewal. If I'm elected, I will work hard to improve security, get politics out of the curriculum, ensure high academic standards, and monitor the proper expenditure of taxpayer dollars. My name is Mary Kowalski, and I ask for your vote.
Hello, I'm Bob Lord, and I'm running for re-election to the Board of Education. I'm the board's current president. I live in Westminster with my wife and children, where I enjoy cooking, working around the house, and spending time with my family. I also own a small business called Lord Industries. I was elected to my first term on the board in 2014 after being involved with the school system for many years. I co-founded a grassroots parent advocacy organization called Carroll Values Education, was a parent guide, chair of the Community Advisory Council, and a member of the Education That Is Multicultural Committee. It has been a busy term with many accomplishments and some challenges. Our students continue to outperform their peers across the state. Thanks to the involvement of families and community, we have a higher graduation rate than any other county in the state. We have worked very hard to improve the education environment that allows our students to excel. My proudest accomplishment so far is that the board has been able to increase teacher salaries every year of my first term. Our school system is successful because of our great teachers. We will continue to do whatever it takes to attract and keep our great educators. Second, Carroll County takes student safety very seriously. We were the first county to implement a student data privacy policy that protects our students' information online. We reviewed and updated board policies for student and staff equity and diversity. We support the increased law enforcement presence in schools to make safety a top priority. For the remainder of my term, I plan to build on our many successes to focus on the recommendations of the Redistricting and School Closure Committee and the modernization of the Career and Technology Center. If re-elected, I will continue to focus paying our hard-working employees, recruiting minority educators, and increase learning for all students using research and data to close the achievement gap. I will continue to remain a good steward of our taxpayer dollars provided by the county and the state, and will work to get a great return on the money we spend as our projects move forward. To learn more or to contact me, please visit my website, boblordforcarroll.com. I ask for your continued support to keep our school system strong for all of current and future students. Thank you.